dramatic decisions that shape your destiny. It's the ordinary, seemingly unimportant choices that carry the real power. What you think about when you wake up. What you say to yourself when no one's listening. What you decide to do with those first few minutes of your day. That's where your future is being written. Think about it. If you wake up every morning and immediately feed your mind doubt, fear, or limitations, what kind of life do you think that produces? If you roll over, complain, and allow the day to control you instead of you controlling it, do you honestly expect success to show up at your doorstep? The future you desire can't be built on habits of procrastination, distraction, and excuse-making. The future you desire demands courage. It demands intentionality. It demands that you take control of your days instead of letting your days take control of you. And here's the beautiful part. This isn't reserved for a select few. Every single person, no matter where they're starting from, has the same 24 hours. The difference is how you use them. Winners, leaders, dreamers who turn their visions into reality, they don't wait for a better tomorrow. They build it today. They understand that when you direct your energy, when you discipline your habits, when you make every action align with where you want to go, the future can't help but bend in your favor. So ask yourself right now, are the choices you're making today worthy of the life you say you want? Are the actions you're repeating every single day moving you closer to freedom, success, and fulfillment? Or are they quietly dragging you into a future of regret? This isn't a dress rehearsal. You don't get today back. What you do with this day is what determines the next one. Your future is not waiting in the distance. It is here in your hands right now. And it's being built whether you realize it or not. The only question is, what kind of future are you building? Habits are stronger than willpower. That may sound simple, but let it sink in. You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You fall to the level of your habits. And that's why so many people set big goals, make big promises, swear they're going to change their life, only to slip back into the same routines they've been stuck in for years. It's not because they lack the desire. It's not because they're not capable. It's because willpower is weak compared to the pull of habit. Willpower burns out. It's like a match. You can strike it. It will burn bright for a few moments, but eventually it fizzles out. That's why diets fail, resolutions collapse, and commitments fade away. People try to fight old habits with nothing but raw willpower, and they wonder why they lose. But habit is different. Habit is a force so strong it takes over without asking permission. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're stressed. It doesn't even care if you're motivated. Once a habit is installed, it runs your life on autopilot. That's why the key to transformation isn't trying harder. It's creating habits that pull you toward the life you want. Think about it. If your default habit is to procrastinate, to hit the snooze button, to avoid challenges, no amount of short-lived motivation is going to rescue you. But if your default habit is to wake up with intention, to feed your mind with powerful ideas, to take even one meaningful step toward your vision every single day, then success becomes inevitable. You won't have to fight for it. It will flow from the rhythm of your daily behavior. The incredible part is that you get to choose which habits dominate your life. And the way to do it is through repetition, consistency, and awareness. Every time you repeat an action, you're carving a groove into your subconscious mind, teaching it this is who I am, this is what I do. Do it enough, and it becomes automatic. That's when life changes, not when you're forcing yourself, but when the new way of living becomes effortless. So, if you want to achieve greatness, stop relying on spurts of energy and start building systems of habit. Decide what kind of person you need to become to live the life you want. Then build habits that reflect that person. If the person you want to be is disciplined, what would they do every day? If the person you want to be is wealthy, how would they treat their time, their energy, their resources? If the person you want to be is confident, what kind of daily routines would feed that confidence? That's the work. That's where change happens. Habits are the invisible architecture of your destiny. When they're destructive, they lock you in chains. But when they're designed with intention, they create unstoppable momentum. And once that momentum kicks in, you won't have to fight for success. It will feel like success is fighting for you. Courage is choosing what you want most over what you want now. That single decision separates those who live extraordinary lives from those who settle for mediocrity. The temptation of instant gratification is everywhere. It whispers in your ear to take the easy path, to reach for comfort, to avoid the difficult choice. But every time you give in to what you want now, you are sacrificing the future you truly desire. Every time you trade the vision of your dreams for the convenience of the moment, you are handing away your power. The truth is, success doesn't come to the person who takes the easy road. It comes to the one who dares to say no to immediate comfort in order to claim long-term fulfillment. That is courage. That is strength. That is the mark of someone who understands the difference between living with purpose and drifting without direction. Think about it. You can hit the snooze button and buy yourself another 30 minutes of sleep. Or you can get up, invest in your growth, and move one step closer to the life you say you want. You can spend your evenings scrolling, distracting yourself, wasting hours, or you can discipline yourself to study, to build, to create something that matters. One choice seems easier in the moment, but the other one builds your future. One choice numbs you temporarily, the other one sets you free permanently. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of it. You will feel resistance. You will feel the pull of comfort, the lure of distraction, the pressure of doubt. But every time you decide to rise above it, every time you choose what you want most over what you want now, you build a muscle. And that muscle, once strong, will carry you through storms, through obstacles, through challenges that stop ordinary people in their tracks. You must decide what you truly want. Not what you kind of want, not what you think you should want, but what you deeply, passionately, undeniably want in your life. And once you decide, you have to be willing to pay the price. That price will always be the surrender of temporary pleasures, the denial of easy distractions, the courage to walk a harder road for a higher reward. That is the cost of greatness. And the moment you're willing to pay it, the doors begin to open. The world will test you. Circumstances will try to seduce you back into old patterns. But the future belongs to the ones who refuse to trade their vision for the cheap comfort of the present. Stand tall, stay strong, and remember, the person you become is shaped not by the easy choices, but by the courageous ones. Every time you choose what you want most, you step closer to the life you were meant to live. Small daily victories create massive transformations. That truth alone can change the way you see your entire life. Too often, people wait for the big breakthrough, the dramatic shift, the lightning bolt moment that will finally set them free. But life doesn't work like that. Transformation is not one giant leap. It is the accumulation of consistent steps, repeated day after day, until they build an unstoppable force. Think of the power of compounding. One choice may seem insignificant today. Writing a goal on paper doesn't feel like it changes the world. Reading for 30 minutes doesn't seem life-altering. Taking a single step forward on a project might not look impressive, but when you repeat those choices every day, they begin to stack. They begin to build. And suddenly, what once looked small becomes monumental. It's not the size of the action that matters, it's the consistency behind it. This is where most people fail. They underestimate the small, daily victories. They tell themselves it's not enough. They think, what's the point of working out for 20 minutes? What's the point of saving a small amount of money? What's the point of writing down a dream when nothing changes overnight? And because they can't see immediate results, they quit. But here's the reality. Every great success you admire, every extraordinary result you've ever seen, is nothing more than small wins multiplied over time. The danger is in dismissing the power of today. If you tell yourself that one little action doesn't matter, you are planting the seeds of neglect. Neglect those small wins long enough, and you end up with years of stagnation. But honor those small wins, repeat them daily, and they transform into unstoppable momentum. It's not magic, it's law. What you repeatedly do becomes who you are, and who you are dictates the results you attract. Every time you choose the small victory, you cast a vote for the future you want to create. When you wake up and affirm your vision, that's a victory. When you study instead of wasting time, that's a victory. When you invest in your health, your relationships, your growth, even for a few minutes a day, that's a victory. And those victories build upon one another until they become your new normal. The secret is to stop waiting for the massive change and start stacking the little wins. Celebrate them. Honor them. Repeat them until they become second nature. That's when the shift happens, not when you do something once with intensity, but when you do something consistently with purpose. Intensity creates excitement, but consistency creates transformation. So if you want to transform your life, stop looking for the big moment. Start creating daily victories. Start winning the morning. Start conquering the small battles that no one else sees. Those little wins are not small at all. They are the foundation of greatness. And once you understand that, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Resilience comes from persistence, not perfection. Too many people sabotage themselves because they think success demands flawlessness. They believe if they make a mistake, stumble, or fall short, it means they aren't cut out for greatness. But that is not how life works. Perfection is an illusion. Persistence is reality. The people who rise to the top are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to stay down when they do. Every setback is a test. Every obstacle is a challenge to see how badly you really want what you claim you want. Most people quit at the first sign of resistance. They tell themselves the road is too hard, that maybe this dream isn't meant for them. But those who understand resilience know that the hard road is the very path to growth. The stumbling blocks are not meant to stop you. They are meant to shape you, strengthen you, prepare you for the victory that lies ahead. Persistence is doing it again, even when it didn't work yesterday. Persistence is showing up when the odds are stacked against you. Persistence is moving forward even when no one is clapping, even when no one believes, even when doubt screams louder than your faith. And every time you persist, you grow stronger. Every time you push through, you build endurance. And endurance builds character. Think about it. The tallest trees have weathered the harshest storms. They've been bent by the wind, pounded by the rain, scorched by the sun, yet they rise taller because of it. You are no different. The storms you face are not breaking you. They are building you. They are stretching you, forcing you to tap into strength you didn't know you had. That's where resilience is born. When you shift your perspective and stop seeing failure as the end you unlock your true power. Failure is not final unless you quit. A wrong step, a missed opportunity, a door that closes, these are not defeats, they are lessons. And the person who persists will always find another door, another way, another opportunity. That's the law of life. The moment you refuse to give up, you set in motion forces that will eventually yield to your determination. So stop chasing perfection. Stop waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect execution. None of that matters. What matters is persistence, sticking with it, day after day, even when progress feels invisible, even when the climb feels endless. Because if you keep going, if you keep pressing, the breakthrough must come. Persistence is the guarantee. Resilience is not about avoiding the fall. It's about rising after every fall, standing taller, moving forward with more fire. When you live with that kind of persistence, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. You may bend, but you will not break. And in the end, it will not be perfection that defines your life. It will be your relentless refusal to quit. Challenges are the test of belief. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They think challenges are punishments, setbacks, or signs that they're not meant to succeed. But in reality, every obstacle that shows up in your path is there for one reason: to measure how much faith you truly have in your vision. Anyone can believe when things are easy. Anyone can stay motivated when everything is flowing. But the moment adversity hits, that's when your real belief is revealed. When you face resistance, you have a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it prove you. Challenges don't come to stop you. They come to strengthen you. They're not there to steal your dream. They're there to refine your commitment to it. If your belief is weak, you'll quit at the first roadblock. If your belief is strong, you'll dig deeper, push harder, and rise higher. The challenge doesn't define your failure. It defines your growth. Think about it. A muscle doesn't grow without resistance. It is the weight, the tension, the strain that forces it to expand and strengthen. Your dreams work the same way. The obstacles are the weights. The difficulties are the resistance. Without them, you'd never grow into the person capable of carrying the life you desire. Every challenge you face is preparing you, shaping you, molding you into the individual who can not only achieve success, but sustain it. The problem is most people misinterpret the test. They think, if it's hard, maybe it's not meant for me. That's the wrong mindset. If it's hard, it means you're on the right track. It means you've stepped outside of your comfort zone, and that's where transformation happens. The bigger the challenge, the greater the demand for belief. And the greater the demand for belief, the greater the reward when you overcome it. Challenges are the universe asking, how much do you really want this? How committed are you? How strong is your belief? If you shrink back, if you surrender to doubt, you fail the test. But if you rise up, if you hold firm to your vision, even when the evidence around you says otherwise, you pass. And every time you pass, your faith grows stronger. Every time you conquer a challenge, you prove not only to the world, but to yourself that you are unstoppable. This is why adversity is never the enemy. It's the gateway. The struggle is not a wall blocking your path. It is the door to your next level. And only belief can turn that handle. The test will come again and again, but each time you choose to believe, each time you push through instead of giving up, you climb higher. You become unshakable, unbreakable, and unmovable in the pursuit of your vision. So when challenges appear, don't curse them, don't run from them. Stand tall, face them head on, and declare your belief louder than your doubt. Because every challenge is asking the same question: will you hold to your vision, or will you let it go? and your answer determines the life you will live. Destiny is self-authored. That single truth should ignite a fire in your soul. Your life is not written in the stars. It's not decided by fate, chance, or circumstance. It is written by you, through your habits, through your choices, through the actions you take every single day. Your destiny is not handed to you. It is crafted line by line with the pen of discipline and the ink of persistence. Most people don't live as authors of their own story. They live as readers of someone else's. They drift. They conform. They allow the world, their environment, their past, and the opinions of others to write their chapters for them. And then they wonder why life feels unfulfilling, why success seems elusive, why joy never lasts. The answer is simple: they have surrendered the pen. They have forgotten the power they hold to shape their future. The truth is, every habit you practice is a sentence in the book of your life. Every decision you make is a paragraph. Every action you repeat is another page. And over time, those pages add up. They form a story, a narrative that becomes your reality. If you allow fear to dictate your actions, your story will be one of limitation. If you allow procrastination to rule, your story will be one of regret. But if you choose discipline, vision, and courage, your story becomes one of triumph. You cannot escape this truth. You are writing your future right now. Even in this very moment, the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you fuel, the choices you make, they are all shaping the direction of your destiny. And the power of that realization is extraordinary because it means you can change the ending at any time. You are not locked into yesterday's story. You can pick up the pen today and decide to write a different chapter. So ask yourself, what kind of story are you writing? Is it a story of compromise, of excuses, of settling for less? Or is it a story of boldness, of resilience, of someone who rose above every obstacle and lived fully alive? You decide. That power belongs to no one else. Not your past, not your circumstances, not your critics, only you. The moment you take ownership of this truth, life begins to change. No more waiting for luck. No more hoping for someone to rescue you. No more drifting through the chapters, hoping the plot magically improves. You seize control. You write deliberately. You create with intention. And when you live like that, the future bends to your will. Destiny is not a mystery. It's not written somewhere far away, waiting to be discovered. It is right here in your hands, in the daily choices you make, in the habits you repeat, in the actions you commit to. Every single day, you are the author. And the story you write will either be one that inspires the world or one that leaves you wondering what could have been. So here's the truth. Your future is not waiting for you somewhere out there. It's being built by you right now. Every thought you think, every action you take, every habit you repeat is stacking up to create the life you will live. You don't need permission. You don't need luck. You don't need the perfect circumstances. You need decision, discipline, and persistence. Refuse to let fear, excuses, or comfort write your story. Step into your power, claim your vision, and live each day as if your destiny depends on it, because it does. The pen is in your hands. Write the life you were meant to live, and write it boldly. If you woke up this morning thinking today,